Welcome back to The Crossover.
So Peter's asking for forgiveness, and what happened?
Then there was just an atmosphere change in the room. And he obviously was seeing their torn faces, very emotionally distraught, these German Christians from this church. And he started laying his hands on their heads and saying, "Come, be comforted. You know, Jesus forgives you, and I forgive you." And people started lining up. He was saying, "Come." And he says, "I will stay here all night if I have to be there with you and hug you." And it was such an atmosphere that it was not an earthly atmosphere. As people were, many people, most of the congregation lined up to just hug him and for them to receive forgiveness from the survivor.
Can you forgive me?
Könnt ihr mir vergeben?
Listen to the voices.
Da hört ihr mal die ganzen Stimmen an.
Can you forgive me?
Könnt ihr mir vergeben?
The same way Peter asked.
So wie auch Petrus gefragt hat.
Remember Jesus?
Weißt du, wie das war, als Jesus
3
da war?
times.
3-mal hat Jesus ihn
Can you
gefragt,
forgive me?
kannst du mir vergeben?
So that I can forgive your trespasses.
Damit ich auch deine Sünden vergeben kann.
So that I can break the generational curse upon you.
Damit ich den Fluch der Generationen über dir zerbrechen kann.
So that I can set you free from my life, from some of those lives was happening.
Damit ich euch freisetzen kann von dem, was in meinem Leben passiert. Manchem, was da passiert ist.
I don't want nothing from you.
Ich will doch gar nichts von euch.
Only thing I want, can you love me?
Das Einzige, was ich will, ist, könnt ihr mich lieben?
I can walk to any of you.
Ich kann zu jedem von euch gehen.
I can embrace you.
Ich kann dich in die Arme nehmen.
I can love you.
Ich kann dich lieben.
And I can forgive you.
Und ich kann euch vergeben.
And I set you free.
Und ich setze euch frei.
some people obviously knew I was Jewish or whatever, and they started lining up behind me as I'm filming. And I had asked the Lord, I said, God, you know, I know I'm here to film, to present this to our viewers so you can get a taste of this, but I also know I needed to get this healing as well. And I asked God to give me wisdom and discernment to know when to stop the filming, you know, and let God do what he has to do with me. This girl, so obviously the people lining up behind me, so I let my camera go, and this one of the first person who did it was a person a little younger than me and asking me for forgiveness for something her uncle or grandparents have done. And I felt I needed to first ask her for forgiveness. I asked her for forgiveness for never in a million years wanting to ever come to Germany, not trusting anyone with a German last name, always wondering who their parents were, who their grandparents were, what did they do in the war. Just not, you know, even though people might be German Christians, I just no trust whatsoever. I asked her to forgive me for that, and I also I said, I will stand in the gap for all second and third generation survivors who also are carrying this bitter root and prejudice against Germans, no matter what they think and feel and where they stand with God. And so she forgave me for that, and then she said her forgiveness, I forgave her, and it was very weird. I just never, weird, I just never thought I would forgive that. I mean, Mitch, you and I, we spoke to people whose families were from Auschwitz and whose grandparents helped run the trains, and we were friends with these people. I would never be friends with such a person, just to think of who their family was. But anyway, this was a breaking point for me at that moment, and as we were hugging, something broke in my heart. It was like my heart was real hard about this issue, and it was like cracks it was breaking loose, and I was like breathing through my heart for the first time, it felt almost.
So it's late at night, the evening's coming to a close. I wrap up all the cameras, bring them outside, and where's Rosalie? What was going on?
So what happens is, I just decided, since I've been standing almost all day filming, afternoon, in the evening, decided to lie down in the back and just kind of stretch my arms back. I lie down on the ground. And as I was stretching my arms back over my head, again, that started again, where I was like breathing through my heart, and I was very emotional. On the outside, I was like weeping, breathing through my heart. For a while there, it was just an experience. And as I was lying there and that was happening, on the outside I kind of looked like a mess, but on the inside, God took me back to a very young age. He took me back to a time very young, like a year old, I mean, back. And one of the things that Peter Loth spoke about was God had him ask for forgiveness to the SS commanders of the camps that he was in, and he couldn't do it. And God said, well, I know that you haven't forgiven your mother, because his mother gave him away after the camps, gave him away to a Polish woman, right? She couldn't take care of him. She was so weak, she just gave him away. Anyway,
and he did not know his mother.
He didn't know his mother. She had medical experiments just like he did in the camps and all. But anyway, what happened with me was the same thing. I was put in an orphanage at 6 months. I was given away.
More of The Crossover when we return.